Hiya, this is Netty and welcome back to Big and Little Thoughts with me and Tomahawk.
Yay! I just literally mimicked the whole thing.
Did you? Hiya. I bet you did a head wobble, didn't you?
Yeah, I did. So now you like
Basically, Tomahawk and Amy both make fun of me a lot for the fact of when I'm eating and if I'm really enjoying it, I do like a little head wobble. I kind of like go like after a bite and they always copy me and do it. So yeah, they make fun of me for that. But yeah, so we are back with Big and Little Thoughts and we are going to be telling you our thoughts, our views, our stories, and our theme this week, which we're talking about, is our childhoods. Well, like childhood memories. So, so I know, by the way, loads of people sort of said in the comments, like I'm always like drum roll, and then it says it on the thumbnail anyway, so you do know what it is beforehand, but it's kind of more fun to do it as a drum roll.
Yeah.
So, Tomahawk, what kind of child were you? So would you say you were like mischievous, or were you quiet, or did you do your own thing, or did you need to have like loads of company, or what?
Adventurous.
Adventurous? Were you always up a tree and...
Yeah, climbing trees, making rafts, trying to sail down the river, all that kind of stuff.
What when you were really tiny though? Like really tiny, like 4?
Yeah, like, when I was 4, yeah, I'm pretty sure I always used to like get on my little bike and cycle to the shop.
So the thumbnail's a bit true to you, on your bike, pulling someone's
yeah.
hair.
Yeah.
I would say like I was, as far as I know, I used to be quite talkative and I was really clumsy.
Don't believe that.
My mum used to call me Miss Bumpity Bump, and then as time went on, it was then Miss Bumpty Bumpty Bump, and then Miss Bumpty 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 Bump, because I was literally always just covered in bruises. Like it was just kind of, it was bad.
I was very accident prone as a child. Thank God I grew out of that. Well, touch wood.
I always used to really suck I always used to like comfort and cozy stuff, which is similar to what I have now.
Similar? You sound like you haven't changed at all.
I sat here with a pillow, and I am going to show. I'm wearing fleecy like the pajama bottoms we got in Dublin. You know, our furry ones.
Tom is shaking his head right now to put some description to what I'm doing.
And you should check out my socks as well. Wait till you see these. Look how fluffy they are. I'm so comfy. It's unreal.
I'm going to stick Netty in the wild for a week with no comfort and see how she manages. She'll probably rip someone's head off. I just need some fluff. I need some fluff.
I'll always manage to get comfy, whether it's making a pillow out of leaves or... I don't know.
We'll see. We'll try that, I think we need to try that. Let us know if you want to see us do an adventure weekend or a couple of days in the wild and see how we survive. But if there's any endorsement companies out there who want to set us up with that,
God, can you imagine? That'd be so funny. But yeah.
I'd like that.
What would you say is like, do you have like a fondest memory? Like, is there something that you look back to your childhood? And if someone said to you, like, think of a happy time of your childhood, like, what would be your like, oh yeah, like that was really cool?
I used to do a lot of skating and stuff. Like, I used to enjoy that. Like, you spend like evenings at a skate park because I used to rollerblade a lot. So probably that really. Like, just sunsetting, it's still warm out, hanging out with friends, just skating, all that kind of thing.
Yeah. For me, I would say it's probably just Christmas in general. Just that's like
Christmases were good. I had a lot of good Christmases as a child. Yeah.
Just the excitement of everything, and like it was always like we were really strict with like presents and stuff. Like we didn't like just go and open our presents. Like we waited, and it was kind of
we had to do the same.
And it's that moment of waking up and like feeling your stocking and being like, oh, there's stuff in it, kind of thing. Like yay! Yeah. And then like all the games and stuff like that. But yeah, I say Christmas is probably just in general my fondest memory. Actually, no, wait, can I change it?
You always do this. Pick a comment. Pick
one. I'll stick with that.
Save it for another episode. Don't give all the good stuff right now.
No, but it's a thing that it was like when we were younger. I used to think it was really cool. So we didn't really have fizzy drinks or anything when we were younger. And just sometimes on the weekend, my dad would make a drink called Daddy's Special. And like to us, we were like mind blown, like didn't know what it was. It was like, what is this magic? And as I got older, I found out it was just Ribena with lemonade. But when I was younger, it was like this fizzy blackcurrant drink, and I was like, this is amazing. Like, what is this? But yeah, it was Ribena and lemonade. But he was like, oh, do you want some Daddy Special? It's like, yay! But yeah.
You should bottle that, we could make a little side business.
Yeah. Is there anything that, from what you know now, is there anything you would tell yourself? Like, if you could go back in future now to you as a child, is there anything that you would sort of say to you and just sort of say, like, oh, like...
Don't worry about stuff as much.
Yeah.
Don't panic about stuff as much. And, yeah, just don't worry as much. When I used to worry a lot. I still do as an adult, but this stuff I used to worry about now looking back was kind of silly.
Yeah.
Yeah, enjoy yourself. Enjoy yourself, be a kid, enjoy it. Don't grow up too quick, which is probably advice everyone's probably going to give you.
That is probably one of those things that I would say I went through a phase, like more in secondary school, where I really wanted to be older than what I was. And looking back, you take your help. Yeah, I would say it was like when I was in secondary school, I was kind of like, I wanted to be older than I was, but it meant like I kind of grew up quicker than what I maybe should have. And then I wish I hadn't, because I've kind of then gone backwards. I probably like acted older than I am now.
Sorry, I was just laughing at you when you said that you grew up.
Okay, not in height, in mind. Or I would go back and I would warn myself not to go head first down the slide, because it will result in stitches across your face.
That's true. That's very good. I fell off a slide when I was a kid. I did that.
See, when I say a slide, it was a big, like, inflatable dome.
Yeah, I didn't do that. Mine was a little, like...
And it was, yeah. Someone was like, go down head first. And I was like, yay.
Why not?
Let's do it.
What's the worst that could happen? Dr. Pepper it.
Well, is there anything that, like, as a child, you were told, like, no, you're not allowed that, or... like, or something like that, and then as you got older and then you could finally do it or have it, like what was the thing that made you feel like, oh my gosh, like I'm like so grown up right now, like I'm allowed this and I'm not normally?
There's a few things. Probably one was probably not, I'll not say not a good thing, but when I was really younger, I wanted a tattoo, and I got one when I was 18. So that's kind of like that. Staying up late is good. Yeah. Because like I used to do this thing where me and my brother used to get sent to bed like really early. Well, not early, but at the correct time and stuff. Yeah. And I could never sleep properly on a night. So in the bedroom of my old mum and dad's house, there was like a couple of creaky floorboards on the landing and stuff like that. And there was a couple stairs that were creaky as well. And I used to sneak downstairs on a night and watch TV, late night TV, but I'd know where the creaky stairs was. So I remember, like, in my head, I knew that it was like stair 1, 2, 4, 7, and 12 and stuff like that. So I used to like sneak around the landing, proper climbing around the banister. I used to jump over the banister onto the other side, ninja down, and then count the steps. I know which one it creaks, I won't make any noise. And I used to go down and watch TV. And then just before it used to get like 6, when I knew my mum used to get up, I used to sneak back upstairs and get in bed and go to bed.
Oh my gosh, so you would pretty much have no sleep?
Yeah, pretty much.
That's so bad.
I wanted to watch TV.
See, for me, it was getting my ears pierced. Like, I was told I wasn't allowed my ears pierced until I was in year 6. So how old are you in year 6?
12.
12, yeah. I was told, so that was like before I went on to secondary school. So in America, I know it's obviously a bit different for you guys. And I wasn't allowed it. I remember when I first had them done, I was like so sure that everyone was noticing them. Like I was walking around like, yeah, I've got my ears pierced.
Yeah, check me out.
I'm so grown up. But I used to, the same, like there used to be, my parents used to watch a program called Frasier. And it's like, it used to come on quite late in the evening. Like, it used to come on at like 9 o'clock at night or something when I was really young. And like, it was always, as Frasier was coming on, that when they would be like, right, go on, up to bed then, kind of thing. I'd be like, no, like, I just want to watch it. Like, I had no idea what it was. I remember one time, like, they just sort of didn't tell me to go up. And I remember sitting there like, oh my God, I'm watching Frasier. And I had no clue what was going on and didn't get any of the jokes, but I just remember being like, I am sat here, Frasier is on, it is past my bedtime. And I just remember being like really chuffed.
Yeah.
But
Frasier.
so what sort of games and stuff would you play? Like, would you play like real life games as well as like online games and stuff?
I used to be more outside and stuff than I am now. Football, rugby, American football, rounders, swimming, skating, frisbee, surfing, skateboarding.
Can we get
bikes?
Can we get a group of us together and do rounders? I miss rounders so much.
Yeah, rounders used to be good. I used to do like lots of sport. Like if there were an opportunity, like to like go out and do like football, or even though I was like never really good at football, basketball. I used to have basketball net around the back of my house. I used to love playing that. Yeah, all kind of sports. I used to play video games, kind of like maybe on weekends and stuff. But like during the week and obviously after school, I'd like obviously either do my homework or play sports. So very sporty.
See, so Stampy and I, we used to we used to come up with some weird games. Like one of the ones that we used to do, which I'm not recommending to anyone, it really wasn't safe. So when you go up the top of the stairs at ours, you can go either left or right. And so I would start off to the left, he would be on the stairs, and I would have to pretend to be like an antelope or like a deer kind of thing, and I would have to like jump over the like step before where you turn off, and he would pretend to be like a tiger or a lion and had to try and catch me as I jumped across. Or we would pretend to be chipmunks and we'd like pretend to climb a tree, and then like we would like fall and like roll down, but it was just on the floor, but we'd pretend we were falling. And like my sister, she used to like, she would pretend to be a teacher, and then all of a sudden like Stampy and I would be like at school again, and she would like give us homework and we would have to go off and do homework and we would like play schools.
For more episodes we do a Big and Little Thoughts, for more I'm getting into the mindset of your childhood wasn't normal, it's classed as conventional. I can kind of understand why you and your sister and your brother, how they are. Is there anyone else? Let me know in the comment section if it's not just me thinking, but Garrett's have some interesting games.
We used to do that, and we used to like put on plays and stuff.
Right, that's alright, but pretending you're an antelope while and your sister pretending to be a teacher giving you homework's a little weird. Oh, I can't wait to get home and play teacher and student and stuff with my sister. Like, I can't wait for extra homework. Yeah.
We used to do that. There was one time I was like, this is when I was quite young, and my sister had started like primary school at this stage, and so she was off at primary school, but one day she was off ill, and she played Barbie with me like all day, and then we went out into town, and like into like the small town I live in, and we bumped into some of her friends, and she was like, don't tell them I've been playing Barbies with you, because like whereas she was too cool for Barbies then. She was like, don't tell anyone. And one time, because we used to have bunk beds in my room, and she got bored of playing with me, and she made her Barbie jump off the bunk bed, and she died. And I full-blown cried for ages.
What do you guys do? Like...
She didn't want to play with me anymore, and I didn't want the game to end, so in the end she just killed off her character. I was really upset. But yeah.
This is one of these moments when I need one. This is weird. This is weird. Next question. Next question.
Did you get on with your siblings like when you were younger?
Yeah. Obviously, like when you're younger and stuff, you tend to fall out a lot more.
Yeah.
And argue and stuff, but it gets a lot better as you're an adult.
My sister and I would bicker. I think because where I was like the middle child, I have an older sister and younger brother. So for that, like I was quite close to Rachel's age, but then wasn't close enough to almost be like friends with her, like when she was getting into the teenage age, and I was still like young, and so I think like I would really irritate her, like she wouldn't want to hang around with me, and I'll be like, yay, let me join in kind of thing. But like with Stampede, like we did get on, but we would sometimes like we would sometimes play fight, and then he would pretend cry, and then get me in trouble. So I would get told off, or like he would like when he started getting like taller than me, he would like hold glasses of water over my head and like pour it on me. But we've always gotten on, but there's always like those moments. Yeah. Did you enjoy school?
Junior school, yeah. High school, kind of, not really. I got bullied and stuff at high school, and it wasn't
Yeah,
good.
that's what put me off. Like, I loved primary school, like first school, and then went to secondary school, and I got like quite badly bullied. But then I changed schools, and when I changed schools, I loved it. I had an amazing time.
That's where I went wrong. I should have changed. It was some bits were good.
Yeah.
It kind of gave me a better understanding of what kind of subjects I preferred and where my strengths were. So yeah. I used to do art. I did art as like a GCSE.
Oh, cool.
And everyone can also tell by amazing drawings and stuff. I actually made a life-size surfboard out of paper mache and tried to spray art it, and it didn't go very well. That's cool. Didn't go very well.
You should do a bit. Let us know in the comments if you want to see Tom do a video making a life-size surfboard and decorating it tomahawk style. That'd be really cool. How did you? Because obviously, a lot of you guys like watching this, you would have some of you would have had a change recently, going from little school to big school. Mm-hmm. How did you find that? And what advice would you give to someone doing that? Because I know for me, I've never been blessed with height. So I was tiny. So I went from being like one of the oldest in school to the youngest in school, and on top of that being like tiny. I was so short. I've always been really short, and so that was like really intimidating. Like loads of really, really tall kids. Like it was really, really scary, and my uniform was a bit big. And on my first day of secondary school, on the bus, on the way there, the bus braked and I went flying forward and whacked my head on the bar in front, and it was so embarrassing.
So yeah, you had fun.
Yeah, but like I would say to people, like it's just just remember everyone else is just as nervous as you, and so just find someone who you kind of feel would be like a nice friend.
Common interests. Common interests. If they play sports, and you play sports, and speak to them because you got that kind of common interest. Yeah, that's what I go with. Common interest. Like find someone that you kind of feel like is similar to you or whatever. What was did you have like a favorite subject in school? Probably PE or art. I like doing PE. I remember playing at school. You played lacrosse, which is like an American sport. Basically, you've got a ball, and then you got a stick with a net on it. You got goals, and you got to like run around, and you got to fling the ball in the net. I used to like that. I used to play hockey, basketball. I used to play for the school team, playing basketball. Sports.
I used to love maths, but that was because I had a really cool teacher for it. And he was one of those teachers that he was strict to the point that everyone behaved in the class. But he wasn't strict, like horrible strict. Like you wanted to behave because you wanted
to learn.
Yeah, like he made the lessons really fun, and you wanted to like listen. Mr. Nick, if you're watching, thank you. Teacher. And he would be like, right, if you come to extra maths class, I'll give you a donut and a can of Coke. And so we would all go to an extra maths lesson for that. But yeah, that was my favourite. Okay. Do you have any embarrassing moments at school?
Plenty.
Would you like to share them?
Oh god, embarrassing stories at school. Come back to me because I need to think. I can't just think of this off the top of my head.
I would say my most embarrassing moment was when I was at secondary school, And I was at the train station and waiting to go home. And it was like, do you remember the times when like you used to have to put your arm outside the train door, open it from the outside and swing the door open?
Oh, yeah.
And I was stood on the platform and I was past the yellow line. So I was stood like past it, and so someone had opened the door early. It hit me in my back and I went flying down the platform. My skirt went up and I was just lying on the floor, and I remember just lying there just like, that is so embarrassing. So embarrassed. Just lying there. Like I wasn't hurt or anything. I was just like, that was just so embarrassing. So don't stand past the yellow line. Your embarrassing moment. I'm sure I've got more, but I just can't think of them at the top of my head.
Yeah, same. I think school, embarrassing stories.
It doesn't have to be school, just childhood.
Oh, childhood embarrassing moments.
I did say at school, but you can have else.
Childhood embarrassing moments. I'm really trying to think. It's hard when you kind of like. I think when I was about 14, I had a really, really accident-prone year. Me and my friends were kind of like messing about when we were doing like garden hopping. If you don't know what it is, it's basically jumping from garden to garden. And basically, I was in my garden. I jumped over next door, which is my grandma's, and I managed to land on a bamboo cane stick.
Yeah.
And it kind of went into my chest. So I had like a hole in my chest, and I had to go to A&E. I had to go to A&E. The stick came out like straight away.
Well, so it stayed in there?
Yeah. The stick went in. It kind of went in like that. And then I was so lucky I didn't die actually, because I literally jumped on it. The stick went in, and then I kind of rolled. And then like I just pulled the stick out, which I probably shouldn't have done.
Yeah.
And I remember going up to A&E. And the embarrassing part wasn't the fact that it was kind of on my nipple. It was the fact that when I went up there for an X-ray to get it done, I just took my top off thinking I needed to. And the lady was just kind of shocked. She was like, "Why are you taking your top off? It's an X-ray." And I was like, really embarrassed, and I was bleeding, and yeah. That was embarrassing.
Bad. I always thought I do have a more embarrassing one. It was we had gone to Devon. And this is when I was really, really young. We were in Devon, and we were in this B&B, and I'd gone down to the bathroom to. It was like the bathroom wasn't in the room; it was like down the corridor.
Right.
And I'd gone down to the bathroom for a bath, and like kind of gotten all like stripped off, and then I'd forgotten my towel. My parents were like, "Oh, well, you're gonna have to go back and put your towel," and I had to run down the corridor like without anything on. I was really embarrassed.
What?
I was really, really young as well. And like, it was like, there was like no one in the B&B really. There was like no one there, but I just remember being like mortified. I was like really young, like about like 5.
It wasn't last week, was it?
No, it was like 5. So you've kind of answered this. Any childhood injuries?
Oh, I can list off more. Okay, so when I was 6 months old, or even 6 months, my mum will probably correct me on this. You guys know like radiators and stuff?
Yeah.
So we have at my mum's house, we've got like the stairs there, and we've got like a radiator there. When I was a couple months old, I took off the radiator cap, climbed up a couple stairs, fell down backwards, head right onto the spike, and it split my head open.
Oh, Tom!
So that's why I've got that kind of
maybe hurt my head.
Like that dent there. You guys can see that. That's from where they had to glue my head back together.
Oh.
When I was skating, when I was 14, I managed to break my wrist there. It was quite funny. We were going to a skate park, and Squid's like, "I bet you break something today," and I did. And then I shattered my elbow skating. I had to get all that resorted. The cane stick thing. Anything else broken? No, I ain't broken out in a while, touch wood. And yeah, just bumps and bruises from skating over years and surfing.
I've managed to not really break. I've never broken a bone. I've never had a cast or anything. Like my
casts are awful.
Main thing was the stitches, and then I used to injure my feet a lot from Irish dancing. Like they would be quite bad. But it was more like just bruises and silly stuff, or like we had a babysitter here, and I wanted to sneak downstairs for whatever reason, and I was sneaking down the stairs and I slipped and I grazed my whole spine. It was like a really bad graze, like I got carpet burn over down my whole spine, and then I got headbutted by the sheep.
Oh yeah, I remember you telling me about
bad.
that. Yeah. Netty and sheep, she don't get on with us or cows.
Headbutted me. Yeah, it's more like sort of silly injuries I got rather than real ones. It was just more clumsy, silly things. But I do have one that Stampy did. He stapled his finger.
I've done that before.
But I got really told off because he cried like a chicken. He was really young and he stapled his finger, and his cry sounded a little bit like a chicken, and my sister and I were really laughing.
Was it a staple gun or just a stapler?
Just a stapler. He just put his finger in it and pressed it down.
I've done it with a staple gun, it's fine.
I really hurt myself. I was dangling head first off the bunk bed, and my cousin
Were you recreating the Barbie incident?
Yeah, no. My cousin pushed up the mattress from underneath. She put her feet in between the slats and pushed the mattress up. And I fell off and I landed like on my head, and it went into my chest and it winded me really badly.
It's not good. I don't know why I laughed. I can find you going.
Did you like have any, like, I know you've listed off your hobbies, but did you do it like any other hobbies or instruments or anything like that?
I used to play the cornet.
Did you?
Yeah. I used to play the cornet. Yeah, because my dad's a piano tuner, so obviously I couldn't play the piano. So I played the cornet for a while, and I had a bash of a guitar as well. But
that's cool. I played a recorder.
Yeah, standard.
And then I learned the piano for a little bit, but I didn't do that for very long. I really wanted to play the saxophone, and it was recommended to me to start to play the clarinet first, and once you get the hang of the clarinet, it makes the saxophone really easy.
Okay.
But I never made it that far. I just did the clarinet.
One day.
And then I think I did ballet for like one lesson. I was scared of the teacher and didn't go back. I did gymnastics for a bit, but then basically my sister did gymnastics, so I did gymnastics too, because I was like, I want to do what she's doing.
Yeah.
But the only bit that I enjoyed was when, after we did bridges, we had a break and we had a biscuit. And I just knew, like, yes, after the bridges we get a biscuit. It was my favourite bit. And like, it used to be really cool because I was like the smallest person, so I'd be the one that would get thrown around in all the performances and stuff. They would like pick me up and throw me in the air. But then Irish dancing was obviously my main one. I like did that for a long time. That's my main hobby, which I enjoyed. Did you have any nicknames? Tomo Smells?
No.
Tom Smells?
No.
Tom's a baboon?
No.
Tom Smells a poop?
It used to just be like Spenny or Spencer or Saucy Spenny or
Tommy Tomato.
Oh, Tommy Tomato.
Why do you get called Tommy Tomato? Tommy Tomato?
Yeah, they go bright red sometimes.
He gets embarrassed and goes bright red. When did it happen recently?
When we were on a plane.
When we were coming back from Philadelphia.
Right, okay, right. I'm just saying this right now, right? If any of your mums and dads are stewardesses, right, on a plane, it is not polite to start grilling them on where they've been when they're tired or jet lagged. I wasn't jet lagged at that point, but I basically got on this plane, and Netty told me to go down this side of the plane aisle when I should have gone down the other side. Crossed over. This woman clocked me. She's like, right, we're gonna have some fun here. She goes to me. She's like, oh, so wait, where are you coming from? And I was like, oh, Manchester, because that's where I'm from, like, you know, around there. But obviously she meant where I'd been in Philadelphia. But I thought if I'm in Philadelphia Airport, it's pretty obvious where I've come from. So then she was asking me that, and I kind of got really confused and stuff. And literally, there's about 4 rows of people that I know, like, there's loads of people, and they're all looking at me. And she was asking me all these questions, and I was just there, just like, I just wanted to sit down. I just wanted to sit down and just watch a film, but she wouldn't let me. She kept on asking me questions, and I went bright red, and then everybody laughed at me. Everybody laughed.
He went the same colour as his jumper.
So yeah, basically, don't fly with Netty because she's an instigator.
No, not my fault. Okay, next question.
Yes.
When you were younger, what did you most look forward to?
Weekends.
Yeah.
Weekends. Yeah, just kind of doing fun things at weekends, really. Like, during, like after school and stuff, we'd always like have homework or not much time in between getting home and doing things. So weekends we could kind of like stay up late Friday night and you know, play games and stuff on Saturday. We'd always have pizza on a Saturday night and stuff like that and everything else like that. So yeah. Weekends.
Like for me, I think it would be like times like if it was like really raining, the bottom of our garden would flood a little bit, like we'd get a massive puddle. And then we had like a swing set that would be always like the flood was always under the swing set, and so we used to like, especially my sister and I would go out and we would play on the swings and jump into the puddle, and we would go in completely soaked, and it's like those times of being so freezing cold and like having like loads of fun and getting in and having a bath and it hurting a little bit where it's like so warm and you're so cold. And we used to have like a lot of water fights and stuff. I used to love that.
We used to get this tarpaulin which used to cover all of our garden, and we used to like get like bottles of fairy liquid, and we used to put water, and we used to turn the whole garden into a massive slip slide.
That's so cool.
So we used to do that a lot. That used to be kind of fun in the summer, just like literally like a huge like tarpaulin, just like sliding everywhere. It was well good.
What was the naughtiest thing you did as a child?
Naughtiest thing I ever did as a child. I don't know. I was pretty well behaved, I like to think. Probably not. That's probably a lie. I tried to sneak out at about 2 o'clock in the morning to go skating one time, and I got caught.
Tom!
I got caught because basically all the doors were locked, and I basically opened the window downstairs, and I threw my blades out, my skates, and I got like one leg out, and then my dad came downstairs, and I was like, But to be fair, it's a really stupid idea, like trying to go skating at 2 o'clock in the morning. But I thought the skate park would be like quiet, so I could, get some extra time in. And I knew they had lights on and stuff, so it'd been all right.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was quite far as well. I think it was like a mile or two, so I'd have to like skate there and skate and come back. So yeah.
See, this isn't so much this is more like a silly naughty thing we used to do, and this was like an ongoing thing as well. This is like a regular occurrence. Basically, like we used to have like really healthy meals at dinner, and like we'd always have like loads of salad and stuff, and I never wanted the salad. And what we would do is like say we'll bring the plates in to the table, and like before my parents came in, we would like, us all kids would like get all our salads and split it out between my parents, so they would have like massive salads, and we would be like, oh, we know we ate it really quickly, like we wanted to get it out of the way to enjoy the rest of the meal. We used to like, they would always have like loads of salad. We used to do that. Or when my parent pardon, I was gonna say we would always like, as soon as my parents would leave the room at dinner times, that was probably when we were most naughty. Like we'd have like little food fights and stuff like that.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of interesting dinner conversations from you when you were younger. We're not going to get into the whole knife and fork situation, so...
But my parents were just as bad, though. I remember one time, like, my mum was just like... My dad's called Steve. She was just like, Steve. He, like, looked up, and she was there with, like, a fork with a strawberry on, and she just, like, had it, like, pinged back. And as soon as he looked up, she, like, let go, and it just, like, hit him. So it was their influence.
Right, okay.
It's not our fault. What did you feel like when you were a child? Like, is there anything that you thought was unfair, but now looking back on it, you're like, oh, I'm so glad like I was made to do this, or like I'm so glad like I had done this?
Not being allowed out because I hadn't done my homework, going to bed early, it's kind of that stuff really. Nothing like, like, I don't know, nothing really crazy. Just kind of like simple, kind of like normal things. I'm glad that I kind of like my mum like really forced manners upon me when I was younger.
Yeah.
Because it's something I've carried on into later life, and a lot of people have always said like it's a very good quality and everything else like that. It's like please and thank yous are like very important and stuff. And we're working in retail for 12 years, so thank you and please is very, very much appreciated. And if you can't say please and thank you in your late 30s and 40s, then your parents mustn't have done a good job.
See, I say for me it was the healthy meals. Like I used to be so jealous of like my friends would have like loads of chips and chicken nuggets and pizza and stuff like that, and we never did. And I remember like when I was younger I was really like, oh, can't we have a nice dinner? But like now I'm older, I like the meals that we used to have, and
you wish it was us now. It was like nice. So is there anything you would do differently? Like if you could go back now, is there anything that you would change, or are you happy with how like it's helped you be who you are? I'd probably tell myself to have a bit more confidence and stand up to people more, and maybe pursue things and not give them up so easily. And buy more hats. Stocking up.
Stock up, ready.
Stocking up.
I think for me it would probably be a similar kind of thing. Like don't like say like if someone was mean to me, I'd be really upset about it. Or I would always want people to like me even if I didn't like them. Yeah. And like I would just sort of say like, oh, like you're never going to see those people again once you've left school.
Exactly.
just don't worry about it. Don't stress. Don't stress about it now. But yeah, did you have like a best friend at school?
I have friends with a lot of people. I want to say I like a best friend. I'm just kind of like friends with choice individuals, like-minded individuals.
I had Emily Ive.
Oh.
She was nice. Anyway, that is it for Big and Little Thoughts for this week. Yay!
You made it through and you've learned more on how weird Netty's family really are. Find out more in next week. And next week's episode, we will be talking about what you wanted to be when you grew up.
Yes. So that's going to be an interesting one. So we're going to go through
taller.
Yeah, that is something that I did want. But yeah, so that's going to be another one where we're kind of looking back again and discussing like that kind of thing, like how we felt at different stages in our life.
Ambitions, what we wanted to be. I wanted to be the spokesman for Gillette. That didn't go so well. That's a joke. That's a horrible joke. Anyway, so thank you very much for watching Big and Little Thoughts. We'll see you next week. And bye.
Bye.
Big and Little Thoughts. We need an outro theme tune. If you know, leave in the comment section below. Ta-da.
I was actually dancing then.